Good turn. Chested down. Pogba with a chance.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to Football Manager 2020 Project Manchester. It is episode 6 and we're heading on into the month of November. As you can see in the Premier League, we are sitting at 4th with 10 games played and I think 23 points. The board is pretty satisfied with the way we are managing this team. We sit at a B- rating, but of course we hope to bring that up over the course of the season. And pretty much in November, we begin with a personal issue with Shaw, and we hope to settle that soon. He says he's worried about his playing time, and I think he's not good enough, so I respond that maybe I'll let him go, something like this.
Not fair. And Daniel, I'm going to see Daniel as well. So when Daniel's in, tell him I'm looking for him.
I think you are honest guy.
Yeah, I am. But that's the problem.
I think you should.
Yeah, I will. Yeah.
Open your heart to everyone.
So yeah, pretty much I tell him maybe it's time you should go, but then he forgets about it. He says forget about it and let's move on. So that's good to see. Our injury list is pretty long. Wan-Bissaka, Brandon Williams, Mason Greenwood, and Fred are the key players that I had hoped were ready for the month of November, but sadly they're still on the injury list. And we head on to our first game against Norwich. We had a nice time trying to build a squad, but then the game crashed and I had to reset the whole game. But then this happened. Yeah, our big player Nicholas Tagliafico, there we go, I said his name, is injured. And Luke Shaw comes in instead of Tagliafico in the left back position for the first game against Norwich. It's not great seeing a player get injured, especially a crucial key player like Tagliafico, but we do what we must. Norwich game was pretty laggy and I missed the goal because it was a penalty, but then the game lagged and I didn't have any footage to show you, but we lead 1-0 at halftime. We are pretty dominant with Norwich not scoring any goals. As you can see, there are 0 goals and 0 shots on target. And heading on into the second half, I'm hoping to bolster this lead and get the players, to score some more goals, to build confidence, but also to solidify the win for today. McTominay comes off for Van de Beek, and I bring on Lingard as well to see if I can get some goals, and also to rest some key players considering our injury list is so long. Just before the end of the game, I decide to rest Greenwood as well and bring on Mata, but the game ends with a 1-0 victory. As you can see, the game ends with 0 shots and 0 shots on target for Norwich. So I was hoping for more goals, but sadly none came in the second half. Scott McTominay wins player of the match, and that was pretty interesting to see. And I told the boys that they were left off because I wanted to see more from them. Then Tagliafico gets better and is ready to train. McTominay is suspended for I think 1 match because of yellow cards. And Tagliafico gets a bigger, more serious injury. So he gets added on to the injury list, but he's not seen here regarding fitness tests because probably he's just injured. And we head into our Europa League game. We are up against Spartak Moscow, and this is a crucial game despite us being favorites to win this one. If we win it, we head to the top of the table, and we also get qualification for the knockout stage. So it's a very important game, and this is the squad facing them. Romero in goal, Shaw, Maguire, Tuanzebe, and Wan-Bissaka in the back, McTominay, Pogba, and Bruno in the middle, Diogo Jota and Lingard up top with Martial. So I'm trying to maintain a strong midfield to make sure that we can score goals, but also setting out a strong squad so that we can win this qualification to the knockout stages. So moving on, we start off the game pretty dominantly, but Spartak Moscow are also very dangerous when they have possession. We win a corner kick, but they collect the ball easily and mount a counterattack, which was very dangerous. They come at us, and on the wing they get a cross in and they score a goal through Fernando. Sergio Romero couldn't do anything, and I was pretty upset with our defending because our defense allowed Fernando just to waltz around in our penalty box and take a nice header. Look at that. Actually, it wasn't a header, it was a nice volley, and I believe it was Harry Maguire who missed Fernando and wasn't tight enough to him. That let him score. So bummer. But we maintained our pressure, high pressing game, and we really pressed them hard that they lost possession at a crucial area. Lingard pokes the ball away, finds a cross, and gets Diogo Jota the goal he needs. So Diogo Jota takes us level with Moscow. Lingard doing exceptionally well to tap the ball out of their possession, find Diogo Jota making the run on the opposite side of the penalty box, and a nice and easy volley into the back of the net. So halftime, we're level at 1-1. We're slightly more dominant regarding stats, but I expect more from the players, and that is pretty much what I planned to tell them, and it is pretty much what I do. Like in the second half, I expect more goals, I expect more passion from them, and I expect more from all the players. So moving on, I assertively tell them there's much more that needs to be done, and that there's room for improvement, and that I hope to see that. Bruno Fernandes on a yellow card and also feeling a little tired. I decided to take him off and put Van de Beek in. Diogo Jota up top with Dan James as the exceptional substitute that he is in previous games. So I wanted to give him a shot and see what he can do, and immediately Dan James shows that he is a valuable player. Despite being on the transfer list, he says, "Look at me, I was a good choice." Van de Beek, our other substitute, finds Dan James, who makes the run in, skims past defenders and slots a nice finesse ball into the top left corner. Now I'm seeing that we have a 2-1 lead, but I also want to solidify or put more to it, so I decided to bring on Juan Mata for Jesse Lingard to see if there's more that we could do and maybe score more goals. Mata tries, but to no avail, and the game ends 2-1. And remind you, this is an away game, and the fact that we won such an important game away from home was really a nice sight to see, and it shows the confidence that our team has, and I was pretty happy with it, and I assertively tell the boys that it was a good win and that I'm very proud and that it's a well done job. So we qualify for the first knockout round of the Europa League. As you can see, we're in the top two with PSV, so it comes down to the game against PSV at the end of the month to see who goes top of the group and proceeds to the knockout stages as the leaders. But in the meantime, there's a game in between the Europa League games, and that is up against Southampton, and there's a huge growing injury list in our squad, and I'm starting to get worried about the fitness of our players. We are firm favorites against Southampton, so I was hoping to rest some players, but this is the squad we go for. David De Gea in goal, Luke Shaw, Maguire, Tuanzebe, and Wan-Bissaka in the back, Fred, Pogba, and Bruno in the middle, with Diogo Jota coming in at left attacking mid instead of Rashford, because Rashford was slightly ill, not ill, but he was tired. There we go, slightly tired, and also not in form. So I decided to bring on Jota to see if he can spark some attacks on the left wing. But Southampton have the first punch in the game as Højbjerg finds the back of the net from a set piece. I think it's another mistake from our defense because Højbjerg just finds his way past, and there was nothing David De Gea could do. So anyway, our defense needs to strengthen up a bit, but going into halftime, we're down 1-0, and I give everyone the hairdryer treatment, saying, "What are you guys doing? Where's the passion?" And I'm expecting that chastisement really brings the best out of the players in the second half. Again, 70th minute, and I don't see much happening, so I decide to bring on Van de Beek for Fred in the CDM position because we need better passing towards the front, and then our super sub, Dan James, in for Martial, who was struggling with form as well, so I decide to switch things around. Diogo Jota is also feeling a little jaded from a challenge, so I decide to bring on Rashford, and this happened.
Sanchez. Good turn. Chested down. Pogba with a chance. Hope for Manchester United.
Stunning goal from Paul Pogba. Great shot from outside the box, or was it inside the box? I don't know. But Pogba doing what Pogba does best, letting one crack and finding the back of the net at such a crucial time as we entered the 93rd minute, and I was trying so hard to find a way to stop a loss from hitting our record, but thankfully Pogba finds the back of the net and ties the game. Game ends 1-1 between Southampton and Man United. We were the slightly more dominant side regarding stats, but I was quite unhappy with the result. Although I was kind of satisfied with the draw, I calmly tell the boys that that wasn't good enough and that we need to do better. But also on the side, I tell Pogba that this was a great showing and I was proud by the goal and the chances he made. Despite the draw, we still sit in second place, but of course the other teams still have to play their games. Luke Shaw is out because of a twisted ankle, and that just adds to our injury list. We have so many defenders out. Although Timothy Fosu-Mensah is slowly coming back, his rehabilitation phase is beginning and he's slowly recuperating to match fitness, but then he's not ready right now, so our defensive lineup is very limited. Tagliafico is slowly getting better, but he still needs to be monitored, so I decide to let him sit out in this game against Chelsea. This is another important game because Chelsea is a top 6 team and a win would mean so much. We decide to field the same team and we just bring changes to the left side. I bring in Marcus Rashford on the left and also Brandon Williams for the injured Tagliafico and injured Luke Shaw. So I'm hoping Brandon Williams can show that he's a good reserve player to have in the squad, and off we go. Good start from the boys, but Chelsea were more dominant. They had more shots. They had more shots on target. They had more possession in the first part, but then we slowly climbed back. We defended well and then started to even out the playing field. It was a tight match, but Chelsea did have more highlight moments. But by halftime, there was nothing much that happened. We were the worst team in this first half, so I decided to let the boys know that they needed to do better. As you can see, we have a lot of negative comments than positive. Chelsea have 1 positive to their 2 negative, so I'm hoping that I can stir up some changes among the team by assertively telling them that they need to do better and that they have to muster up all the courage they have inside and express it on the field and also for the fans. For the attacker, I wanted to get them hyped a little, inspired for the second half, and immediately Anthony Martial hits a nice header and scores a goal to give us the lead in the 47th minute. As soon as the restart happens, Brandon Williams finds Pogba, who finds Brandon Williams with a nice 1-2, a nice cross from Williams, hits Martial in the head, and we score the goal. So Martial gives us the lead 1-0 against Chelsea. But it wasn't meant to be for long because Chelsea reorganized at the kickoff and immediately hit back with this opportunity. Azpilicueta finds Tammy Abraham and they equalize immediately as if it was a kickoff glitch from FIFA. Well organized play. We didn't even touch the ball once since the kickoff, and Azpilicueta with a nice through ball, lobbed through ball more like, to Abraham, and a Maguire missing out Tammy Abraham again. So it is a worry for the defensive side, but I decide to keep Maguire on. Van de Beek on for Paul Pogba, who is a little jaded. Diogo Jota coming on for Marcus Rashford so that I can finally find a way to open up scoring once again. Rashford isn't in the best form right now, so I tried to give him some play time but also substitute him. Fred on for Scott McTominay, but there wasn't much that happened after those substitutions as the game ended 1-1. Fairly even game between Chelsea and Man United, so it was more of an unlucky match than the fault of the players, so I let them know that it was unlucky that they tied the match, and we move on. The tie keeps us in second place, just behind Liverpool, but also other teams still have games to play. It's bad. It's getting really bad within the squad. Our defensive lineup is down to bare minimum. Wan-Bissaka is out for about 5 weeks maximum, so I decided to dip my hand into the under-23 reserves to see if there are any players that can fill that role, and I decided to bring up Pujmal, especially for this important game in the Europa League against PSV. It's a mixed feeling on the ground here. Man United seem to be the team to win it, but PSV are also dangerous, especially being at home. So Pujmal comes in for the injured Wan-Bissaka, and this is the team. Tagliafico is fit to play, so I decided to bring him back in left back. Instead of Mason Greenwood, I bring in Juan Mata to see if I can get more game time for him, but also the creativity of scoring goals. Juan Mata does supply a lot of great opportunities, so I'm hoping he does that in this game as well. So off we head into the PSV match, the game of the top two teams, and I'm hoping a positive result results from this. Pujmal finds the ball, Bruno to Pujmal, and straight to Rashford, who scores the goal. I'm surprised by this because Pujmal just came into the side, gets a starting call up from me because we don't have any other right backs, decides to swing one in with the left foot to Rashford, who slots it in. A beautiful assist from the debutant, Pujmal. Just finds the right timing, right pass, perfect weight on it, and the goal. But that wasn't meant to be for long because PSV responds immediately with a corner that leads to a goal in the 18th minute. And it's a bit of a bummer for us. We couldn't hold on to the lead for long, but we have to fight back, and that is what I expect from the players. I tried to figure out whose mistake it was, but the game didn't show me. Halftime arrives, 1-1. We're tied at the break. Fairly even stats-wise as well, so I tell the boys that I need to see more from them. I am far from pleased from the game that happened, and I want to see more. Now we need to find a winning goal, so I think the clinical finishing of Igalo might be important, so I bring him in. That wasn't all, as later on in the 78th, 80th minute-ish, I bring on Van de Beek for Pogba. I think Pogba deserves a rest, and also McTominay comes off for Fred. Now it's the 84th minute, and another corner leads to another PSV goal. Such a shame that we could not hold on to the lead. It seems like our defense is disorganized at this point in the game, and they just leave this player open. Gakpo, I believe that's how you say his name, and he scores the winner for PSV. We lose the match 2-1, and we just don't have a good display to show, and I just give him the hairdryer treatment again that I'm far from pleased. Actually, that I expected to see them in training tomorrow, that they don't deserve a break. So our top of the group hopes are out the window. Paul Pogba almost won goal of the month, but it doesn't mean much. This is how we look at the end of November, Man United at third, and we're hoping that in the next episode, when we move on into December, that we bump up on the table. Thank you so much for watching. Take a look at the right, you'll see all my socials. Please follow me there to stay updated about videos. And I hope you guys enjoyed the series. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. So please like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.